How do you feel when you get a rejection slip? Thank you for your submission, but it does not meet our needs at this time. Or, we wish you well in your future endeavors, but we have chosen to consider another candidate for this position. Or, I really enjoyed our date, but I'm not ready to be in a romantic relationship right now. In my younger days, I used to want to be a cartoonist and a greeting card writer. I submitted my creative work to magazines and greeting card companies like Hallmark, and I always used a self-addressed stamped envelope the way you're supposed to do. The replies were always the same. Thank you for your submission, but your contribution does not meet our needs at this time. It always hurts to get a rejection slip. Well, Jesus got a major rejection slip from his hometown of Nazareth. Who does this guy think he is? They asked. We have known him since he was a little kid. They were not interested in what he had to say. How do you deal with rejection like that? Well, my daughter, the baby Buddha with autism, once asked a question. She asked, if you were you, what would you do? Now that's a great question. If you were you, what would you do? I've always kept that question in my heart. In the face of rejection, what did Jesus do? He moved on and he stayed with his vision. His vision from his baptism and from his vision quest in the wilderness was that he was God's beloved child with a mission in the world. In the face of rejection, he still listened to his heart and he stayed on his path. We can do that. If you were you, what would you do? Follow your vision. Listen to your heart. Stay on your path. All of us are going to experience rejection. We will hear voices trying to discourage us. We will be dismissed by important people. We will be misunderstood, or even worse, understood and still rejected. If you were you, what would you do? Do what Jesus did. Follow your vision. Listen to your heart. Stay on your path. Sometimes people come around. The family of Jesus rejected him at first. They misunderstood him. They thought he'd kind of gone crazy. One time they showed up to try to take him home by force. But he followed his vision. He listened to his heart. He stayed on his path. And even though his path did lead to suffering, it also led to Easter. Sometimes people come around. The family of Jesus did. Although his brothers rejected him during his work, after the resurrection, his brother James joined the followers of Jesus. And James eventually became the leader of that first Jesus community in Jerusalem. His mother came around too. She didn't understand him during his work, but she ended up in that early Jerusalem community as well. So take heart. Sometimes people come around. But even if they don't, you still have to wrestle with that question. If you were you, what would you do? Follow your vision. Listen to your heart. Stay on your path. You are a beloved child of God. Not everyone is going to see you that way. Rejection slips will arrive. So choose carefully among all the voices you hear and follow your vision and listen to your heart and stay on your path. Amen.